sitting in for Gibbs. Here's Michael Johnson Jr.
We are back. Hour number 3, the Rob Dibble Show. Michael Johnson Jr., Nick Federico, Kurt Kaplan doing the fabulous production work that you hear on this Rob Dibble Show for many, many years, and have heard, I should say. And we are here with you. Everybody out there driving on whether it's I-84, 91, wherever that may be. Across our great state of Connecticut, drive carefully and stay cool. It's a scorcher out there.
The left lane's for passing, people.
That's right, it is. Pay attention. 10 and 2. We're giving driving PSAs now on the Rob Dibble Show. But
because I drive home 4 days a week and I'm listening to you guys, and that's what half of my brain is what you guys are talking about. That's the other half.
So we entertain. We try to entertain, Kurt. We appreciate the support.
It.
Yes, of course. Thank you for listening. It goes both ways. It'd be nice if the Red Sox could lose, coming from a Yankees fan perspective.
You're telling me.
But as an analyst and a talk show host here in a market where the Red Sox are massive, you have to recognize that there's so many fans listening to you, and B, just appreciate the greatness that's happening. I mean, to win 26 of 29 games, if you are the Boston Red Sox, without Roman Anthony and Garrett Crochet, we will say it and continue to say it until we're blue in the face. And Rob will join us coming up next segment and chime in as well on this. They are playing like a championship caliber team in August right now. Totally turned things around. Caleb Durbin, right? Connor Wong stepping up. Wilson Contreras, when he's in the lineup, has been probably the catalyst for this offensively. Sonny Gray's dominating. You're getting production from bullpen that, like Sean McAdam just said, a .079 ERA during this win streak is absolutely phenomenal. And they win the game of the year last night over the White Sox. You heard Kurt play the intro there, or in the intro, the walk-off. Just, what more can you say? You don't lead from the 3rd to the 12th inning. They rally again. The cardiac kids of Boston. They've captivated Boston. They probably captivated us here in Connecticut, too. And they are the overwhelming lead around these parts. Nothing else is close. And on a night when nothing else was going on besides the Hall of Fame game, that didn't have any Hall of Famers playing in it yet.
For as much, Mike, as a Yankees fan, I want to ream on these guys or take shots at Boston. I can't, right? Because they continue to prove everybody across Major League Baseball wrong, in the sense that when everyone had them counted out, even large portions of their own fan base, Kurt being one,
as a fan,
one of
Kurt
them
is
raising his hand in the studio.
That's an honest man right there.
This team just fought and clawed and willed themselves out of the grave that they had put themselves in. They have done a complete 180 polar opposite shift on this season, and they've steered it back onto the tracks. This team is trending to be in the playoffs. They're breaking all sorts of records. Alex Green cited a historic record dating back to when Fenway Park was first constructed.
Which is bizarre.
This is how rarefied the air is that we're currently seeing on this win streak. But I will play devil's advocate, and as a Yankees fan and if you're Tampa Bay Rays fans out there listening, maybe you can make the argument that this team is peaking just too soon. Given the fact you're seeing a lot of guys in that lineup overachieving, playing well above expectations for guys that aren't regular household names, can they truly sustain the pace that they're playing at, this winning rate that we haven't seen in a very long time from this organization, or really any organization across the league? I would make the argument that we will see regression sooner rather than later. If I'm a betting man, I would say that the mean, they will fall back to an average level of play before the season's end.
I would agree with most of that. But what you've done last night can also be kind of a microcosm of the season. As it started out, we had expectations, and you're behind, but there's no panic now. Now with the season being like what the game was, it's like, all right, we're in trouble, but we can handle this.
Yeah.
What's the first thing we need to do? We need to get on base. Okay, let's get on base. Oh, next thing we need, let's score. Let's take it step by step, and I think they're doing that in the dugout now.
Yeah, they're not quite waving the white flag the second things don't go their way, which we saw early on in the season.
Well, I saw that in the afternoon game because I got out of work early and was down at the local establishment, and Seattle's got their right fielders pitching because it's one of those kind of games. So there are those
games.
Blowouts.
Yeah, we're getting a position player throwing the ball in now. Yeah, those are always rough ones. But when it's going right for you. And for Boston, a little bit of luck on your side too, maybe. Doesn't matter. I mean, the White Sox are first place in the AL Central. I know it's a bad division, but they're no slouch. And to be able to sweep them, sweep 7 of your last 13 series is remarkable in and of itself. Just surely dominating. That's the word to describe it. 26 out of 29, and it pains me to say it wholeheartedly, but we have no choice. But I can just see it in your face, Nick. I can see it in your face. Well, it's just tough to praise them.
I've said all week, obviously, I don't like the fact that Boston has caught fire in the fashion that they have, obviously.
They basically caught the Yankees.
They're nipping at our heels. Yeah, they're right behind us. They're knocking on the door. They're actually essentially kicking the door in as we speak, given the fact we didn't play last night. They win another game in heroic fashion in Fenway Park last night. They're right there. But at the end of the day, they are still beneath the New York Yankees in the AL East standings. So what does that mean? That means the ball is in the court, the proverbial court of the Yankees, to win baseball games and keep them off their heels.
Yeah.
If they can do that, great. We'll see what happens. They have a tough stretch of games coming up. They have Atlanta starting a series tonight at home in the Bronx. They play host to Seattle. Seattle's fallen off a little bit, but they still have a fantastic starting pitching rotation. And then you're getting on the bus or you're getting on the plane and you're flying to Canada to play Toronto. So even though Toronto's fallen out of favor this season with the departure of Bichette, Vladdy's having a rough stretch of things, Toronto's still a chippy team that plays small ball, and that's given the Yankees fits in the past, and we saw it in October last year. We'll see what they could do moving forward.
Yeah, we will. And this AL East is a 3-team race now, because the rest of it, the wild card too, because whoever doesn't win, you're going to be almost pretty much guaranteed top 2 teams in the wild card with how things are shaking up right now. Live look, yes, Tampa is clear by 4.5 games. Understand and recognize that. Yankees and Red Sox separated by half a game. Red Sox are 6.5 games clear of the last wildcard team, Texas. 6.5 to below 500. That's how bad and underwhelming the AL has been. The only other teams that are good right now, Chicago's got a 3-game lead in the AL Central. The White Sox, who just got swept by the Red Sox, they're 4 games above 500. And then Houston has come out of nowhere, and they're 2 games above. I mean, with the year Yordan Alvarez is having, you think the least you could do is make the playoffs if you're Houston. They're 2 games above 500 and in first place in the AL West. So there's your proverbial playoff teams. Look at the National League. Look at the Braves, 70 wins. Brewers, 72 Dodgers. The NL is way stronger. So that helps.
100%.
The AL East, Sean McAdams said it, one of these 3 teams are probably and most likely going to represent the American League in the World Series.
100%.
And win the pennant.
Yeah. As a Yankees fan, as the fellow Yankees fan, let me ask you, obviously we tend to get doom and gloom. We tend to sulk sometimes when things aren't going, the perfect way for the Yankees.
We're just so spoiled,
We are spoiled. I will admit that 100%. If you had to rank your top 2 or 3 biggest causes for concern as of today for the New York Yankees, what would they be? Obviously, a couple weeks ago or a week ago, it would have been Anthony Volpe being the starting shortstop.
Yeah.
We've remedied that situation in the interim with George Lombard. We'll see how he continues to play. What would you say are your 3 biggest causes for concern post-trade deadline?
I love getting asked the questions and not as opposed to asking the questions. I love it all. But good question. Catcher production has to be near the top of the list.
That's one that's on there for sure.
That's on there. Austin Wells can't continue to be batting 160. I mean, Cal Raleigh is too, but...
Ali Sanchez was the backup. We might have a new backup today. Just about an hour ago, they signed Mitch Garver from Seattle to a minor league contract.
Mitch.
He will be joining the AAA Scranton
Our
team,
savior.
But he might come up as the backup pretty soon.
All right.
That's one.
Catchers, 1 to 3. I will go bullpen for the Yankees. Believe it or not, the bridge to Bednar, so to speak, is kind of where I'm a little bit like, what are these guys going to do each time they come out here? Like, you're not like, oh, this is 1, 2, 3 for Cruz. No problem. He's going to go out there and he's going to throw an immaculate inning. No, he's going to put runners on base, and you're going to be sweating and trying to take deep breaths to get through the 7th inning of a game where the Yankees have a 2-run lead and then all of a sudden blow it.
We saw it in the Chicago series, right?
Well, Philly, it was thank goodness he's not out there too at all.
Cruz, he's great. He has great energy, and when he's on with that splitter. But if he cannot locate that splitter and throw it for a strike, all bets are off. And he starts, his confidence wavers. You can see it in his demeanor. He starts to beat up with sweat, and he winds up walking in the winning run to lose the game in that Chicago series. It's not quite as certain and steady with that bridge to Bednar in the Yankees bullpen, even though as of late the numbers statistically are great. How long can they hold up now that we haven't gotten fresh arms at the trade deadline?
You know who he reminds me of? Dylan Betances.
Okay, that's a good pull.
When he's healthy, similar stuff, but if he's off, his command is absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
but Dylan had some nasty stuff back in the day, and then he went to the Mets, and then we never saw saw him again. Basically, the major leagues bullpen, catcher, starting pitching is not a concern.
I think the big one is pretty, the elephant in the room. The big guy, number 99.
Yeah, well, Judge. I was going to say Judge, because he was so obvious I didn't even have him on the list. Judge's health, yes, with the injuries.
Well, that changes to the pitches that everybody around him sees.
Exactly right.
Protection in the lineup.
You're adjusting. When 99's in there, your whole philosophy and strategy changes. After that, and outside of that, I will throw one more at you guys. Aaron Boone and the plug and play with the lineup and what decisions he's going to make. Boone, we'll shorten it.
Okay.
As a headline, Boone pushing the right buttons. That's my third concern.
Well, he's got to stop using, you ever see that game Boggle?
Yeah,
you push that and the letters come up, and that's like how
Boggle.
That's how he comes up with the lineup, it seems. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like, okay, we're just going to, he's going to lead up. What?
Well, him or the analytics team. Who's calling the shots?
Well, you should have seen the rant I was going on yesterday, Kurt, about Trent Grisham batting leadoff, batting 200 on the year, making $22 million.
Now, he couldn't possibly be in the leadoff spot tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, I know. That's why. I knew the answer.
I said, Kurt, and maybe you can weigh in here. I said the fact that Trent Grisham continues to lead off for this team, making $22 million and having almost zero offensive production means one of two things. Either A, Boone really isn't the one making the lineup card every night, and he's not the one pushing the buttons, or two, he has absolutely no stones, or both. So what do you think?
Let me think about that, because from a standpoint of
Kurt wants to say the second option.
Above his head,
I think it's that one.
Above his head, the philosophy at the end of last season was, this is okay. We're not going to make any heads roll. By not getting rid of Boone, your whole management and ownership.
A decade.
But so you just went, this is okay. Trent leading off is okay.
Yeah.
Batting 200 and leading off is okay right now with the Yankees.
Yeah, that's
and
acceptable.
you've got to stop letting it be okay.
Rob.
It can't be.
Somebody call Rob. He'll chime in and he'll tell you have 200. He said that'd be a pinch hitter he'd face back when he was pitching back in the 90s.
Well, the problem is, what do you do with Grisham, right?
I think
the problem with the Yankees and the way that Boone talks about the team, he always likes to use the phrase, it's a great problem to have. We have an abundance of riches in the outfield. That might be true. You have Jones. You just sent Dominguez down, but he's been serviceable.
You have 7 outfielders.
When he gets regular reps, you're going to have Judge and Bellinger coming back. Stan, he's not great, in terms of his mobility anymore, but God forbid he has played outfield time in right field before, and it's a short porch in right field. You have so many options, but you continue to put Grisham at the leadoff spot. Is it because he took the bait and took the $22 million qualifying offer, and you're afraid on the optics on what it would look like to bench him? He can't lead off. I don't know if you can bench him, but you have to bump him down the lineup because he does not get on base. All of the numbers from the career year that he had last year are way down. Batting average, slugging percentage, walk rate, strikeouts are up. He's got 12 home runs compared to 34 that he finished with last year. It's simply not good enough to be the Yankees leadoff hitter night in and night out.
Trent Grisham looks like a guy who's playing in the wrong decade. Because he looks like he plays in the 70s.
He's got on,
with the stash, and he doesn't wear gloves. I'm just saying, he looks like a player that played in the 1970s. I don't know what that has to do with him playing terribly. I just wanted to point that
out. Yeah. And then the fact that, obviously, listen, he's probably not at 100%. I think he had a hamstring problem just a little while ago.
Not guaranteed he's
probably not at 100%. But there was some uproar from the Yankees fan base after that game the other night. 2 balls, all the runs that were scored from the St. Louis Cardinals that won them that game, 2 out balls that were hit over his head, landed on the warning track, one of which, the second one, didn't look like he was giving max effort to get to it. Kind of just conceded the fact that it was going to drop.
And Boone will be like, we'll throw him right back out there. No, sit his rear end on the bench for this game. Call up Jason Dominguez. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Come on, he's better than Grisham.
He is, and I said that. For all the faults that Dominguez has, he's only 23 years old, and he hasn't earned or been given the opportunity to get regular playing time with the major league team.
Yeah.
Yes, he has low baseball IQ, it seems at times, with the routes he takes, with the missing cutoffs, throwing through. But listen, he has speed on the bases. He can steal bags. He's a switch hitter, which is always a great piece to have in that lineup. He's got power. Give the kid some time. It's better to have him at the leadoff spot. At least he can get on base rather than Trent Grisham, who's a $22 million dud batting leadoff every night.
It's just not okay and not acceptable under any stretch of the imagination how bad he is. Not to just totally bash the guy and pick on him.
No, of course not.
Look, he's stealing $22 million from the Yankees right now in the qualifying off. That is highway robbery. Highway robbery right now for this Yankees team. So the Yankees sit at 64-51. Red Sox are 63-51. That's where you stand. Rays are 68-46. Almost turned it into a pickle, this segment. I kind of like it. But Yankees home against the Braves and the Red Sox home against the